Bonafide hustler. Bonafide hustler. Bonafide hustler here. Bonafide hustler here. Bonafide hustler here. And we're gonna look at some of that stuff I found this weekend. What's going on, guys? This is Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, coming to you live from my garage. Beautiful day today. It's actually evening time now, but I spent most of the day out in the sun, got a little bit of a tan. Anyway, lots of fun. But this weekend's been really good too, and so we're going to show some of the stuff that I found this weekend all together. Not just Saturday, but also today, which is Sunday. I want to show you some of the stuff that I did find at this little flea market kind of thing. So let's get right to it. Before I even show you some of the stuff I found this weekend, I forgot to show you two things that I found last weekend. One was a cuckoo clock, and it was a, I think it's a 1970s or maybe 60s cuckoo clock by Hubert Herr. That's what it's called. It's in this box. It's brand new, so it's really neat. Let me show it to you guys. Right there. Oh, it's so cool. So that's a Black Forest cuckoo clock. They can range anywhere from about 60 bucks all the way up to about 100, 120 bucks. But yeah, that was a pretty good score. That was last weekend. Now, also last weekend, I did find this thing right here, which is a, believe it or not, it's an actual bank that's shaped like a rocket. So you put the coin in here, like right in there, and it shoots the coin. If you press this button, it'll shoot the coin like right up into the rocket. Alright, so it's pretty neat. It's a bank. It's got already my price tag for my antique booth that I'm going to put it in tomorrow. But really, really cool stuff. I got this for about 5 bucks. This right here, this cuckoo clock, was part of that $40 deal that I bought last weekend. So total score right there. Now let's actually talk about some of the stuff that I found during that ride-along, right? Yesterday you guys went along that ride-along with me, which was a Saturday morning, and I found some cool stuff. I wouldn't say really a lot of stuff, but there was some good stuff in there. So let's take a look at what I found. One of the things, I went to a place that was, had a Timex watch. So that's what it looks like right there. It's nothing crazy. This thing's not focusing very well, but anyway, not the greatest watch ever. I'll probably ask, let's see, 28 bucks on it. Sometimes old Timexes in the antique booth go for some good money, so we'll see, 28 bucks. Now this is interesting. Walkmans are a cool thing. I love hustling Walkmans, especially the sports Walkmans, but Walkmans with digital presets that are black seem to do very, very well. And I found this exact model just the other day on eBay. And it's really interesting because this little sucker right here that I bought for $1 sold for about $34 on eBay. So that's a really good score right there. I'll probably walk with making about 15 to 20 on this thing. But still, if you put $1 in and you make 15 or 20 out of it, that's a good hustle. All I gotta do is make sure that it works. I'm pretty sure it does. At that same place, I actually bought this old Yahtzee game. So there you go, Yahtzee. I don't actually know how to play Yahtzee, but I just know that it's one of the more collectible ones, that people mess with. Just like those Scrabble ones. And I did find a Scrabble one down there as well. And it's in here. And just remember, if you mess with the Scrabble ones, I think it was my friend Dale Lundgren off of Facebook that kind of turned me on to the Scrabble thing. You got to look for the ones with the wood pieces. So the wood pieces are the good ones. I think it was Dale Lundgren. I'm pretty sure it was. But anyway, shout out to you, or shout out to whoever it was that actually told me that. What else did I find? Then I went to an estate sale later on that day. And the estate sale had a ton of people. Did you guys see that footage? It had a lot of people lining up. I was number 55 in the line. And the way you know that is because they have a deck of cards in the front that has like a number 1 through 55. Although there are, I think, 52 cards in a deck. I think they just had 1 through 55, and I was the last card to be picked. Apparently, like if you pick the cards at any point of the day before the estate sale starts, you are that number in line. So you can leave and do whatever you want and come back when the estate sale starts. As long as you have this card with your number on it, you will precede anybody in line that does not have a card. So it's crazy. So I was number 55. I got in. Here's some of the stuff that I bought from that estate sale. Right here, a razor, a Gillette razor. I'm not too proud about this one, but I know that this Wally guy on Brent's Trash Talk and Treasure show loves these razors, so I decided to get in at about $3 right here and just try this thing out. But I don't expect to make very much on it. I just wanted to try this hustle. So it's an old Gillette razor. But I was looking on eBay at Gillette razors the other day and like sold auctions and everything, and apparently the Gillette ones are still some of the more highly sought after ones. It's just certain models. So I know I'm pretty sure I didn't find one right here, but take a look at completed vintage razor auctions and start getting educated, because you will start seeing these things all over the place. And it was honestly that Wally guy from TTT that turned me on to at least just looking for razors and noticing them, because he apparently has a collection of them, and he says they're worth some money. So eventually I'm going to hit gold on one of them. I know I will. I found this adding and subtraction machine that was very primitive, so it's real neat. It's made out of tin, and you know, you can just sit there like that, and you can see your answers right here. So you cover the answers, you sit there and you spin the wheel. It's kind of like a jackpot machine. You see like 5 plus 7, so we all know that's 12, and you flip the thing and it says 12 right there. So that's kind of how this thing works. It's honestly not worth that much. I paid 20 bucks for this thing. I think I'm going to probably end up selling it for about 25 bucks. I'm experimenting with this stuff, okay? Now this right here is interesting. I remember these from when I was a little kid. These little air-powered Tomy toys. So you pump it full of air with this pump, but honestly the pump sucks, and I still bought it anyway because broken, awesome toys still sell for pretty decent money. So this plus the pump was 3 bucks, and apparently when you pump it full of air in this little chamber right here, it'll scoot along the ground with its little wheels like this, and it'll just scoot until all the air's out of it. Somehow it does it, but that's pretty cool, and someone out there is probably missing a piece to their own and want it, you know, working again, and so here it is. So I'll probably ask about 30 bucks for this thing right here that I spent 3 bucks on. Alright, what else did I find? Okay, bag full of trucker hats. That was neat. That was actually something before the estate sale, but either way, 2 bucks, bag full of trucker hats. I think I'm just going to sell the bag alone as it is. Nothing super rare like my other trucker hat find from like, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months ago, where I found like a Southwest Airlines one in there, an Alabama trucker hat was in there. All these other cool like hats were in there, but this one is just a normal trucker hat thing. I probably should have looked, but for 2 bucks, honestly, at an antique booth, someone's going to buy this for like 15 or 20 bucks. Just a stack of old trucker hats. Some frat out there or some fraternity dude's probably going to want some of these. I have no idea, but nothing special, okay? You're looking for stuff with aviation things with old Corvettes, things with cruise liners, things with space shuttles. I mean, you know, things that are iconic pieces of history. You want to find trucker hats with those kind of things. And band names, too, really work really well. So check for that. Okay, also at that estate sale, I found this. This is an old Capsule Toy. You know, if you're a nerdy little kid and your parents were like, we want our kids to be so smart, and this was before leapfrog days and kind of around the days where speak and spell was like the big thing, then you would have bought your kid one of these things, right? Or you would have bought them like a little thing from Radio Shack to make weather balloons, or you buy them an Estes rock. But if you want your kid to be a really smart kid, you would buy them smart toys. So this is what this is, a Capsule thing. It can be rigged in so many different ways. It's really interesting looking, okay? And someone rigged this Capsule toy to be a little pulley crane, so as you can see, there goes the train up and down. Pretty neat. Alright, so that's what it does. Internally geared, really neat. If you find these Capsule toys like in the box, for example, then you're probably going to be looking at something closer to like 80 to maybe 130 bucks, depending on how intricate the Capsule toy is itself and how many pieces are in there. Now this right here, I'm estimating it's probably going to go for somewhere between like 30 and maybe 60 bucks, and I spent I think $6 on this thing, so that was a pretty good score. I am going to mess with it a little bit, but outside of that, it is pretty cool, and I'm just going to break it apart and throw it in a box, throw it on eBay. Shouldn't be a big deal. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to tell you guys about this, but before the estate sale, I also found this lantern right here. Now after looking this thing up, honestly, lanterns go for about, you know, 15 to 20 bucks at the antique booth. Nothing really crazy, especially if they're like a Dietz, D-I-E-T-Z lantern. But this one is interesting because this one is called a winged wheel number 500 lantern. Now this thing's worth actually a little bit of money. It's probably worth about 30 to 60, and the really mint ones are worth about 100. So I bought this thing for $1. That's a really good score too. Okay, so today, Sunday, I actually found a little informal flea market going on that was really, really cool. So I want to show you some of the stuff that I found from that flea market. Some Vans sneakers, 4 bucks. A little bit more alternative, kind of like the Tom sneakers that you see. They don't look like normal Vans shoes, but these are women's 8. Really good looking shoes, been worn like 3 times. Women's Gucci shoes. Alright, Gucci shoes, buying the name here. Trying it out, 4 bucks. We'll see what happens. I'll be lucky if I can get like 25, 30, we'll see. Then it gets really interesting. Found this, a Ladera brand new longboard for 15 bucks. What? $15, dude, that's amazing. As you can see, hasn't even been ridden yet. Paris trucks, flashback wheels. This is gonna be a good score, very easy. All right, what else? Check out what else I found. An Epiphone guitar, used one time, 20 bucks. Tell me how to make some money. That's a good hit. And I also found this really cool helmet, HCI. It's a little scooter helmet. Bought it for 5 bucks. This thing's probably going to sell for like 20 or 30 locally. Okay, the coolest, the most odd thing that I found today is this thing called a wheel belt. Ugh, and it's heavy. As you can see, I don't know what kind of material this is. Could be brass, could be iron, but it's kind of an interesting decorative piece. Speculated to be from, I don't know, potentially way back when. I thought it was a custom piece, but apparently someone on my Facebook has helped me locate exactly what this thing is and, you know, what it potentially could be worth. So I bought this thing for 20 bucks and I just want to see what I get for it. Hopefully I'll get around 60, maybe 70, maybe 80 bucks, but it just looks so pointless. It's got a little crank handle, as you can see right here. Then you just spin this thing around and it just annoys the hell out of you. So I don't know what the hell I just got myself into, and why am I buying this thing? I have no idea, but I just knew I had to try it because as a hustler, I like to try things, and I know I can't go worse than my 20 bucks that I spent for it. So I'm pretty pumped up about trying it and seeing what happens. I also got this cool like little measuring stick, whatever, in case you want to measure anything. Anyway. But yeah, I think I'll be able to sell this thing for like 10 bucks at the antique booth. Bought it for 2 bucks, no big deal. And also bought these washers that are steel. Looks like they've been cut. They're really neat. I bought like 15 of these things for 10 bucks. Even though they're not antique, they're just weird and people like them for paperweights and all kinds of weird stuff. So, you know, I could probably sell each one of these things for about 5 bucks. So we'll see what happens. Just a piece of metal, but I know. But it looks pretty cool. Okay, so how'd you guys think I did? I think I did okay. Not a crazy great weekend, but not a terrible weekend at all. So if you do like my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to The Bonafide Hustler, and find me on Facebook, The Bonafide Hustler, and now on Twitter, YouTube Hustler. And don't forget where I talk on the Trash Talk and Treasures show at 6:30 Central Standard Time. I will be alongside the College Picker, who's really, really awesome too. So you gotta check that show out, especially if you want to ask us specific questions, or if you really want to get to know more about College Picker or the Bonafide Hustler, who's me. Alright, so you guys better go check that thing out, and I'll be in touch with you guys soon. There's another video coming up shortly after this one to train you about external backpacks and what to look for and why they're so important. Stay tuned. See you later.